Good morning, all. After listening to Julia's spiritual mind treatment and her introduction, she tapped on so many of the ideas that I wanted to share this morning. I said, well, I might as well uh, just ask that we just sit here and just be quiet because she did a very good job in the introduction of living mindfully. And thank you. Our theme, radical interconnectedness. And I'd like to say that I like to stay with the theme, or the theme goes group consciousness. So if anyone in the group is not feeling well, and they simply think about someone in the group or think of the group, that energy is transformed to them and they can move just a little faster. That's the purpose of groups. So our theme, radical interconnectedness, is shared in our topic, the art of mindful living. As religious scientists, we have a tendency to focus too much on the science of mind and not the living, as it is as much of an art as a science. Webster defines art as human creativity. Every moment we are creating, and we never create in a vacuum. Every moment we are co creating with all beings alike, not as well as all who have ever, not as well as all those who have ever lived, and every moment we are weaving and are woven into a greater tapestry of inner being. Our theme for the month serves as a reminder of our responsibility as light workers to stay conscious, to stay alert, aware, and awake of our consciousness is needed now more than ever in human history. It is a reminder of who we are as co creators of the universe. It is a reminder for us to be still and know. Mindful living is a way of life to live in the state of love. I share a story told of a young Buddhist scholar who selected vegetable gardening as a mindful practice. He said to his teacher, I enjoy growing lettuce, tomatoes, and other vegetables, and I like to spend time gardening every day. So his teacher said, well, you should spend your time writing poems. Your poems are so beautiful. Everyone can grow lettuce and tomatoes, but not everyone can write poems like you do. He said, if I do not grow lettuce, I cannot write poems. When I take care of the lettuce, of watering the garden, of digging in the earth, I do not think of poetry or writing. I focus my mind entirely on taking care of the lettuce, watering the vegetables, and so on. I enjoy every moment and do it in a mode of thinking. The clue to the story is it is very helpful to stop the thinking. Your art is conceived in the depths of your consciousness while you are not thinking about it. Many times, our thinking gets in the way. Page 496, second paragraph of the textbook reads, and I quote, we have the mind of Christ in such degree as we trust implicitly in the universe and no longer do those things which contradict. the fundamental goodness. From the mind proceeds the perfect law, which is the law of liberty, the law of love. It is the end of the quote. Living mindfully allows us to live within the law of love. For we are told now the only energy that is coming to the earth is the energy of love. And we are now being called as conscious beings to participate in the transformation of our world, to understand our interconnectedness with all life. And we first have to understand how we are interacting with all that is as a personal as a personal experience. When I read this in the textbook some 65 years ago, I did not understand it. I did not understand that simply repeating the same words over and over, that it would make a difference. So my heart just led me to say, I am one with all life. And I said, I am one with all life. And I don't know how long I said it. I said it until I felt differently, until it left me. And I soon moved to other concepts and continued my affirmation. The power is in words. Use the highest words to live artfully, and being aware is the key. Once we embrace that idea, we can begin looking at the ways in which we believe we are enough. Embracing our divine enoughness allows us to live in contentment, knowing we are always sourced and supplied by the universal cosmic isness. Dr. Holmes wrote, we should daily train our thoughts to recognize the spirit in everything we do, say, or think. Constant realization of the presence of spirit will provide a sense of divine companionship that no other attitudes could produce. Why should we not take the highest and best? God is, and we should realize this truth and make use of it. And that's written page 182 in the Science of Mind textbook, paragraph 6. Living is an art that must be cultivated in order to realize our connectiveness. We've been given the tools of affirmation to help keep us grounded and balanced in our desire to live life artfully. And this work, if it is deep enough, will cause us to rub up against our own biases and beliefs that keeps us separate and keeps us from contentment. Becoming aware of those biases and hidden beliefs is how we begin the process of transforming them, and in turn, transforming the world. And there is no better time than now to do so. Dr. Holmes wrote in this thing called You, it is certain you will have to love yourself first, and then your fellow humans, if you wish to be happy. Your union with God implies your union with everything. Do not be afraid of this. Do not shun the thought of it. Divine union means union with everything. And I looked at this sentence. He said, don't be afraid of it. Do not be afraid of it, of this. And then I thought about, according to history, at the turn of the century when this book was written, many humans were afraid of each other because we all look differently. We were evolving as human beings, and we did not all evolve at the same rate. So it was necessary to write the book in terms of the mass consciousness at the time, understanding that the science of mind was written 100 years ago with a different mindset of people who are now the same people helped me to understand much of his writings. Page 235, fifth paragraph, and I read, we have learned that there is only one substance out of which everything is made: cabbages and kings, hands and houses, money and men. Consequently, any wrong condition in the human body is made from exactly the same substance from which the more perfect form is created. That's the end of quote. I find the word substance. 100 years ago, could not the word substance, or the word energy, if you will, was substituted for substance. 100 years ago, we were not ready, or our minds were not ready for the transformation of consciousness to energy. Tesla said, if you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. And so we look to the history of the evolving human being to understand this message to us. And I understand this quote to mean that since words have power, and words are the means, ways we, words are the words are the way we communicate. The highest words vibrate to create the art of living artfully. So we ask, as a first concept, what is your intention in living artfully? What do you intend when you take each action? What do you expect to happen as a result of your action? Think about it. For your intention sets the foundation for what you will receive. I'll say that again. Your intention sets the foundation for that which you will receive. And a second concept for the art of living artfully is contentment. How content are you? Are you so content to the place that whatever comes up, there is no thought about it? You are simply going with the flow, as we say in religious science. I'm simply going with the flow. Contentment is a state of mind that brings in the art of living. For we accept that which we are. We accept and know that everything is in divine order. Everything is perfect, whole, and complete. You know, we say this as religious scientists. Oh, everything is in divine order. Do we really believe that everything is in divine order? I see just a little bit of discontentment when we are moved to say those words. For then, to me, that means that we simply need to practice. And religious science is a practice. We were told many years ago by a giant, or as I call it in religious science. Religious science is a do it yourself religion, and you do have to do it yourself. After these many years, 65 years of continuing practice of religious science, I've found that I do have to do it myself. And when I set my intention to rise above all fears, all doubts, all anger, then from the highest point of my mind comes just simple words for me to speak, for me to hold on to. And I usually reach for the word love. And that's when I find, yes, much contentment in just simply saying the words, I love myself. In closing, if we can remember just two things that we've shared this morning, the art of living artfully, and that is to remember that our intention sets the foundation for our demonstration. Remember, that brings us into that state of contentment. And let us pray. Giving thanks for each individual message and welcoming everyone to this banquet to be fed, to move through any and all events, conditions, and situations that arise in our life and in the world as we are light workers. And we remember who we are. We remember and know that we are perfect. We are enough. We have enough. And that we are the ones that we are looking for. And as you go out into the marketplace this week, the love, the light, the encouragement, the empowerment that you received and within this hour goes before you in the form of the highest energy, making your way perfectly clear. Until we meet again, God goes with you. And so it is. So we let it be.